Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is Pastor H.L. Hornsby once again. Thank you for tuning in. Today's message is entitled, Let God Handle It. And it's coming out of 2 Corinthians chapter 20, verses 1 through 13. Brothers and sisters, first let me say that this message was given to me at a time when I was feeling pretty bad. It was during a time when I felt as though I had nothing left to give. I was being attacked from all sides, mentally, physically, financially, and most of all, spiritually. It was like being in the 11th round of a 15-round fight, and you're winning by points, but you're fighting an opponent who outweighs you and who's bigger and stronger than you are. To all the onlookers, it seems as though you're winning the fight. And to the scorekeepers, it seems as though you're making all the right moves. But they can't feel that overhand right you just took to the ear, or that body shot that felt like it might have broken a rib on your left side. They don't know how hard it is to see your opponent when your vision has been blurred by the blood and sweat that's running into your eyes. They just see you sticking and moving, and they're remembering all those things you said in those pre-fight interviews about how you were going to beat your opponent. You said you were faster, smarter, and in better condition than your opponent. You said you would take him out in 4, but now you're in the 11th round wondering if you can go the distance. You're mentally tired from trying to outthink your opponent, trying to stay one punch or one jab ahead of him, trying to figure out how to win without being hurt so bad that it could ruin your career or cripple you for life. Your physical strength is waning. Even though you trained hard, you lifted weights, you ran, you stayed in the gym from early morning till late in the evening, you ate the right foods, you got enough sleep, but your opponent is tougher than you thought, and now you're beginning to wonder, did you underestimate him? But you know that you can't lose. You have so many people depending on you. First of all, your family. They depend on you for food, shelter. They depend on you to be the provider and the protector, not to mention all those others who profit from what you do, all those who work in your corner. And then there's the spiritual attack. After all, you are a Christian. You professed it in your personal life, and you also professed it publicly. So you begin to ask yourself, is God really in this? Does God condone two men brutalizing each other in front of hundreds of people for money? And then your enemy begins to taunt you. He says, where's your God now? As he laughs. And he says, he's never there when you need him, is he? Now, brothers and sisters, for those of you that did not catch what I said, this time I did not say your opponent, I said your enemy, because we are now speaking of spiritual things. How many of you know and understand that your opponent in most cases is not your enemy? He or she is usually just on the other team trying to win the same prize you are. But on the other hand, your enemy hates you. Your opponent just wants to beat you, but your enemy wants to kill you. His sole purpose is to kill, steal, and destroy. And brothers and sisters, I must tell you that we as God's people have only one enemy. And everything or anything else that comes against you is just being used by the enemy. That's why the Apostle Peter tells us in chapter 5, verse 8 through 9, to be self-controlled and alert. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that your brothers and sisters around the world are undergoing the same kind of suffering. Brothers and sisters, in the beginning of this message, I said it felt like I was in in a 15-round fight. But as I began to seek the face of God, looking for some answers, the first thing he showed me is who I was fighting, which is the devil, and that there was no use in sitting around feeling sorry for myself, because some of God's people are suffering far worse than I. To stand firm in the faith, because this fight will last much longer than 15 rounds. But fear not, because Hebrews 6:18 and 19 says, It is impossible for God to lie, and we who have fled to take hold of the hope offered to us may be greatly encouraged. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. Brothers and sisters, if you keep your soul anchored in the Lord, He will help you. To be anchored means to be steadfast, unmovable, which means you have got to take God at His word. You have got to let Him know that you believe that He is everything that He said He was, everything that He said He is, and everything that He said He will be. Brothers and sisters, I have to leave you now, but I'll be back with part 2 of Let God Handle It. May God bless you and may God keep you.